Hi, and welcome to UNI TUNES. I'm Archie.
And I'm Fynn. Today we acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we are recording on, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and we pay our respect to the knowledge embedded forever within the Aboriginal Custodianship of Country. This is the podcast where Archie and I are going to be interviewing and showcasing the freshest new talent from the Sydney music scene.
Today on the show, we have Sunny and Kyri from the Lenores, a New South Wales-based four-piece alt-rock band. We like to start the show with some rapid-fire questions, so you guys just got to answer quickly. You're welcome to elaborate if you want. Ready?
Yep.
All right. First question. Sunny and Kyri, what are your specific roles in the band?
You go first.
I'm keyboard and vocals.
I'm a guitarist, mostly rhythm and sometimes vocalist, like just backing vocals and stuff like that.
How long?
All around pain in the ass as well. So.
How long have each of you been playing or making music?
With the band or just generally?
In general.
Since maybe 6 years now. Well, writing music, playing music for the past longer than that, since I was like 8 years old, so long time.
For me, it's a bit of probably a relatable story. I've had a guitar in my room forever, but then I just didn't know how to play it until like 2016. I decided to put my head in it, and 2016 I learned how to play the guitar, and I'm still learning how to play the guitar till now. And my first ever band to join was the Lenores, and my first and only band so far. So hopefully forever.
Awesome. What's your favorite artist right now?
Well, I was getting into Eliza and Delusionals.
I think we both were.
Yeah. So I'd say them.
So me at the moment and most of the time is Waves. They're a California indie band, I guess. They've been my muse, I guess. But yeah, I was also getting into Eliza and Delusionals, and tell you guys why. So basically, we were contacted a few weeks ago to open for them for their Huxley show in Caringbah. That was supposed to happen on Sunday, and Sunday morning we get a message telling us that the band is sick and the show's been canned. So that was heartbreaking, but yeah.
It is so tragic. Is there any makeup one coming?
Not sure yet.
That's devastating. That's truly devastating.
Yeah, not good.
And we had all pretty much scrapped our plans to play this
Yeah,
year,
we had. So basically, it was such short notice. So James was in Tumut for the weekend. So that's like a 4.5 hour drive from where the venue is. I had a family barbecue that I had to can.
I had Greek Easter.
She had Greek Easter, and the hardest was our drummer because she had a camping trip planned. But I guess she ended up going to it because she was going to leave straight after the gig and go there. So I guess she ended up going. Yeah.
Yeah, so now everyone lost out that situation, which is...
No, I guess not, no.
All right, next question. Music unpopular opinion.
First.
You go, Sunny.
No. All right.
Oh, okay. I think country actually sounds pretty good. So.
Oh, is that what you mean? Like genres that you don't like?
Anything, artists, genres, anything that's like unpopular and you're against the grain. It's funny because our guest last week actually said that he didn't like Harry Styles' country music. So you've come like with an opposite opinion right now.
A lot of people hate me for this, and not hate me, but like despise me. Well, whenever I tell everyone that I don't like Kings of Leon and I can't stand Kings of Leon, they like give me the what the hell is wrong with you? And then they like give me all the like, oh, you just don't like the more newer stuff. You haven't heard the old stuff. And I listen to the old stuff. I'm like, I still don't like it. Like, all right, I guess I don't hate it, but I don't like it. It's just meh. And especially like when they became popular in the like late 2000s, that wasn't the best time of my life either. So that's like a soundtrack to a shitty time. Can I swear?
I don't know what the exact rules about swearing are. I know that there's no F-bombs allowed, but I think anything.
Well, I said SHET, so
that's fine. That's fine. It's all
that's
good.
what I meant.
We'll put it in the transcript like that. Don't worry. Last song listened to you.
Oh, can I check?
Yeah.
What streaming service are you checking right now?
Spotify.
Nice.
So last song, our song that we listened to.
Yeah. What was the last song that you individually listened to on your phone or whatever?
Oh, all right.
Mine was Girls, Girls, Boys by Panic!
Panic at the Disco. Nice. Bit of emo.
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about, purely the last song, it was the song that you guys were last playing here. So it's
We got a fan of the Lenores right here.
But just in general, I guess I was listening to What's the Frequency, Kenneth by REM, which I also coincidentally put as on our story when I was promoting.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What a good quinky link.
Yeah, there you go.
Your favorite experience as an artist so far?
Ooh.
Probably just playing music with a group of people that are as dedicated to the same cause as you are. I think.
Yeah,
Cool vibe.
It's so cliche, but just playing music live is just it's a fun feeling, and I'm just like, it's so cool. Especially like anytime you get to play with like a established act is a plus for us, is a bonus. But like just in general, being able to play is awesome, and being able to record. Like recording can be stressful. You have to do a few takes and make sure everything's correct, but. The upside is that you get to play live and you get to play your new songs live and experiment a bit, stuff like that. Yeah.
I feel terrible because if that Sunday show wasn't cancelled, I feel like that might have been your answer just now. So sorry.
Well, the best thing about music is thinking that we're going to open for Lies and Delusional.
That was good enough.
The excitement alone, it's good enough.
It was good while it lasted.
Well, they did, reach out to you. So I guess that alone is pretty sick.
That was our positive way to look at it, like a glass half full kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, they. Their agent kind of liked our music, hopefully. So it wasn't just the last minute, who else?
All right, final question. Describe your band's sound in 3 words.
Oh, no.
All right, trying to think of something that'd make James happy.
Crap. Just kidding. All right. Punk, grunge.
Rocks.
Beatles, kinda.
Yeah.
You'll hear it in some of our songs. We've got a few more songs coming out that would sound a bit Beatlesy. What else?
I don't know if you can count.
No, but I thought that was like 3 each.
Oh, 3 each.
Yeah.
Be careful because this is what's going to go in the Spotify description.
Oh no. There you go. That's crap going to be in there.
Well, it's like surfy. It's
it's
like beer in hand, good times.
That's such a good description. Beer in hand, good times. Put on the album cover.
That should probably be our bio on Instagram.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go.
You're welcome.
I just know you did well in English in high school.
You're not wrong.
This question isn't in the rapid fires, but I do want to add it. How long have each of you been in the band and how did you join?
I'll go first. I'm actually a founding member. So
Founding father?
Yeah, one of them. So James is the other one.
The one you're scared of?
Yeah, the one we're all scared of because, he's the guy that sings and Anyway, but so basically, funny story. I was, not funny, but interesting story. I was looking for a band to join around about 2018 to form. And I had a couple of duds. And there's this app called Vamper. Oh. And it's a crappy app because then it's always like not updated and stuff. But so basically it's like Tinder, but for musicians.
Are you serious? That's so sick.
I think it's still up there. Guys can go check it out.
Yeah, there's a couple different ones now.
Yeah, and you literally look at the person who matches your interests and you swipe on them.
That is so cool. So is that how you found James?
James swiped on me and I swiped on him. And
how romantic.
It was so romantic. Wow. And then he's like, oh, hey, I'm thinking of signing a band. I got these, are you interested? And I was already like kind of planning for somebody else, but it was like not very productive. I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm already in a band in progress. And he's like, oh, I'll just send you the demos and, make up your mind and let me know what you reckon. And I listened to the demos. I'm like, holy shit. All right. I text the other guy. I'm like, no, sorry, man. I'm leaving. And then it's been a wild ride. There's been a lot of stories that are too long for just an hour or so. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's been interesting.
And then for me, I joined in end of November last year.
December?
So I was playing in another band that Sunny actually organised a gig for. And then we ended up like chatting afterwards, and he was like, hey, do you have any friends that are like keyboardists that can play in our band? And I was like, me.
Fun fact: the only reason she the reason she messaged me after the gig was because I took photos of that band, and like I have this habit of like, you know how you always saturating and making it
way too much.
Yeah, way too much. And then so she messaged me. She's like, "Hey, do you have like any raw photos?" And deep inside I knew she's like, "Oh, yeah." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I started talking to her because apparently her boyfriend is actually was in my philosophy class that year. Last year. So he was at the gig and it's like, hey, Sunny. I'm like, oh my God, Patrick. And then he's like, yeah. And then, one thing led to another. So that all happened. And then after that, when she sent me the message about the photos, I'm like, oh, we've been looking for a keyboardist. Do you have any keyboard friends? Because it's so freaking hard to find a keyboardist.
Yeah, really?
Strangely enough, yeah. Well, at least
There's so many of us. There's so many of us.
I looked in Vamper. I looked in Bandmix. I looked on Trading Post. I didn't even know it existed. Facebook, Gumtree. It got to a point where I was just like stopping random people in the street and saying, "Do you play keyboard? Do you play keyboard?" It was crazy. So yeah, and then I sent her a message, and then she's like, "I don't know any friends, but I can do it." So yeah, and here we go.
Kind of history.
Were you a fan of their music when you kind of said you were keen?
Yeah, so I knew that you guys played more rock stuff because I had heard some of their music from when my other band played it.
Oh, all right. Sweet.
And then, when I got sent all the demos and stuff, I was like, yeah, this is cool.
I thought you had no idea who we are. I was going to be like...
No, I'd heard a lot about you guys.
Oh, damn. Are you like one of those secret fans that have all the posters?
Oh,
yes. No.
I'm the secret fan account.
It's still worth it as long as we have a keyboardist.
So if you didn't oversaturate all your photos, then you wouldn't have a... We'll have a keyboardist. So.
See, James also likes to make fun of my photos, so suck me in. See.
I like how this is also an interview between you two now. We're all learning things.
There you go.
How did your drummer Julia join the band?
All right, that's a fun one. So basically, during 2020, our old drummer just had a lot of personal reasons, emotional and stuff, and he had to leave. So it kind of sucked because we were actually about to play on a show with V's New South Wales.
Oh
God. It's whenever we get like a popular show, something gets ruined.
Geez.
So we had to pull out of that one, and then we basically started looking for a drummer, and I applied on Facebook on a group, and Julie just messaged me, and Julia's German, and I had no idea she was German, and she speaks good English and everything, and then we organised a rehearsal day, and then on the day she comes out and she has a German accent. I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect that. That's so freaking cool. But like a fun fact, out of 11 drummers that we rehearsed with, Julia blew them all out of the water.
Wow.
So she's
pretty good.
Yeah, she beat 10 drummers. And
I
remember James telling me during like a break that we had before we auditioned Julia, and he's like, so far, none of the people that we have been able to hit this. I forgot where it was, but this specific part in a song. And he's like, it's kind of weird. He hopes someone does it. And then next minute, Julia's rehearsing and she hits it. And then I look at him and he looks at me like, and we just nod. Yeah. So shout out to Julia.
That's so cool. I really love that you guys, weren't friends beforehand, but you guys just seem to get along heaps, which is just really awesome to see.
That's a good thing to have in a band, a good quality. Like you don't want people that are
makes it too hard.
Yeah, make it too annoying and too hard to get along with. So yeah, really appreciate it for that.
To add a moral to the story of the podcast, music brings people together.
Yeah, there you go.
Just like on this show. Fynn, do you want to take it away with the first specific questions?
Yeah, I'd absolutely love to. Thank you, Archie. So your most streamed song on Spotify, She, very confronting lyrically. Could you tell us a bit about why you wrote that song? Well, I don't know if either you wrote that, but why it's important and what it's about?
Well, none of us wrote it. James, unfortunately, wrote it. So I can tell you what I see it as and what I've heard him mention. I've never like really went to him. So about she. No, I've never done that. So, but like, the lyrics are kind of self-explanatory. It's basically about, like different crises. What's the plural of that? Crises that like, teenagers, especially like, teenage women go through, pressure from the media, pressure from friends, peer pressure, just a lot of like basically struggles, and just like, it focuses a lot on the topic of basically eating disorders as well. I'm guessing probably James, it's probably hits close to him, so you're better off asking him. But like, I can just tell you that the general gist of it is just basically about trying not to listen to negativity around you and just trying to remain positive, even if it's hard to do so.
Yeah, is it important to you as well? Is this a special one to play, being most streamed?
It's one of my favourite songs to play. I know James always wants to try and, flick it off the set list.
Not for any reasons, just because we usually get like half an hour to play, and we need to cut some songs of it, and because we usually cut ones that aren't very energetic, especially if we're opening, because we want to get kind of the crowd hyped up. But I honestly love playing that as well. I've like, I always choose that, like even when you guys like told me suggest some songs, I suggested She. I just, for me personally, I like the vocal dynamics in that song.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And just that little break, that instrumental bit towards the end.
Yes.
The seventh chords make everything.
She's the music nerd, so she knows everything about it. I have no idea.
Everyone needs a music nerd friend. Shout out to Andrew Cavallaro.
So does James write all of your songs like in the Jersey Boys, or do you guys all pitch in a bit?
All right, so James writes most of the songs because I can't speak for everyone else, but because I'm talentless. But there are some songs that we are recording that I have written most of, so you'll get to see them soon. A few. We're always, asking the rest of the band for input and stuff like that. And it's not James is not like, he's writing the songs only. He's like more than happy for people to, he always comes up to us and he's like, have you guys written anything yet? He's like, come on, write something. I'm sick of writing stuff. And we're all like, just get random chords together. It's like, how about this? It's like, this smells like Teen Spirit. It's like, no, it's not. If you play it backwards, it's
So, having formed in 2018, you joining in 2021, so after COVID, you guys had a good 2 years before COVID, came along, brought live music to a standstill. So, how did the pandemic impact, I guess, mainly you? And now that live music's slowly returning, how's it been dealing with that? Precautions, lockdowns, cancellations.
Yeah, it wasn't very good for us. Well, I wouldn't say starting a band is never a smooth sail, whatever it's called. It's never a sail. It's never a
smooth sailing.
There you go, or a stroll in a park.
Yeah.
English,
Yes. So that's never a stroll in the park. So that wasn't that easy, but it was better than doing nothing and getting COVID. Not getting COVID, but the world getting COVID. So yeah, that basically affected us pretty bad, as we had a couple of gigs lined up that had to get cancelled. And before COVID, it got cancelled due to bushfires. I remember them. Nobody remembers them.
Red Skies, rings a bell.
Yeah, it was just like frustrating. We also had a planned a show called Linnypalooza. And it was kind of my brainchild. And basically we wanted to get like cool bands to play and, put a bit of money and get some headliners to play as well. And we had Turtle Unicorn and Pandemic. Have you heard of Pandemic?
Yeah. So, they're like fairly big.
Yeah, so they're from Queensland. Turtle Unicorn are from Sydney, New South Wales. So we had them lined up and that was set to take place on the 24th of 24th of April 2020.
Oh no.
And yeah, that wasn't a very good time. That was the dark ages for music and everyone alive. So basically that had to get postponed until September. September rolls around, doesn't look likely, so we just said, refund people their tickets and just,
Such a universal experience. So many concerts have been cancelled, so many tickets refunded. But is it still on the horizon?
Not for the foreseeable future, but you never know.
Never know.
It's always in the back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're, organising a live show, what's the process of putting together a set list?
You always put the set list.
I write the set list. I guess, it usually depends on what the event is. Like we said, if we're opening or whatever, we want to get people into our music, we'll choose the most upbeat, catchy sort of ones. When it's for people that know us more, we'll add a bit of the fan faves like Glencoe Street.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like our anthem sort of.
Yeah, there's a fun fact behind that song, but first we'll answer this question. So Glencoe Street, basically, a lot of people like She, a lot of people love Pranoia, although Pranoia is always in our set. It's the last song. What other songs do we?
Well, we also...
Killer goes good.
Yeah, because we've got new songs as well, so it's kind of like trying to find that balance between songs that we've already played and songs that are going to be part of the new EP or whatever. So
all I have to say is that a lot of new songs coming out soon. So
Ooh, is that a bit of a cheeky scoop?
Yep.
Do we have a
tomorrow?
time range?
We I wouldn't say. Well, we are still in the early stages of we've written everything, but we still in the early stages of recording and stuff. So we're aiming for hopefully mid to the end of this year. So just keep a lookout.
Everyone follow at the Lenores on
Instagram. At the Lenores on Instagram. Every follow is a good thing.
For every follower, it's a smile on James's face.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you don't want that.
Speaking of Killer that you brought up just now, the beginning of that song has this anxiety-inducing beeping sound, and I just wanted to ask about that because it's far out. It's effective.
That was my idea.
Oh, was it? Nice.
So basically, there's kind of an EP version of Killer.
Yeah.
And that does not have a beeping version. That does not have the beeping sound because that was obviously written earlier. So whenever we would play live and stuff, I would be like, that song really needs some, a little bit of a kind of a defibrillator. Yeah, I got it right. So kind of that kind of sound because it's, the whole song has a, eerie serial killer vibe. So what we did for that, what I used to do live is I had a guitar, a Mustang. So if people that aren't aware of Mustangs, they have switches and you kind of turn them on and off. So I would get feedback going and kind of go beep, 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 on, off, on, off, on, off. And that will make a kind of a defibrillator sound.
That is such a cool insight into the process.
So for the actual recording, what I did was get my guitar. We didn't get a sampler or anything. So we just got my guitar and that's just basically my guitar with feedback on and off.
Yeah, I assumed you just went, common...
No, and
royalty free,
like that.
That is really cool. Do you do that live?
I don't do it that much these days, but now that you mention it, I probably should.
You could probably do it on the keyboard.
Yeah, you can do it on the keyboard now. Yeah. What I do sometimes, and I'm not sure if the rest of the band like it, because I've got a synthesizer pedal.
Yep.
And so basically, it's a keyboard light. So what I do when that starts, when the first drum beats happen, I kind of strum the chord as well. So it's kind of like a organ sound.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then, what's my organ for?
Nothing. Show up.
Stealing my spotlight.
Double the organ is better than one organ.
So tell us about the process of the the audio with like the shouting at the end of Need a Little Love then? Like you guys got lots of audio in your music. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of both James and my idea because I was listening to a lot of Fiddler and Dune Rats, and at the time their album 2 and Dune Rats' album Kids Will Know It's Bull Bleep. So basically that had a lot of like in-between segments.
Yeah,
so
it's
I'm
so
like,
good.
I really loved that. So basically for Need a Little Love, basically the song's about a less than ideal relationship. And basically, I guess the shouting at the end was basically James shouting and his sister also shouting, and they both recorded
It's
that.
very intense.
Yeah, and
I
it
was
gets
like,
really
is this a real
intense.
argument? It's
That's what I
loud.
thought first. And he's like, no, it's just me and my sister making like, stupid noises. And then it's like, I'm like, that's awesome. And then you have, speaking of that kind of segue, we have at the end of Vore gut dinner. So that's a kind of a, what is it, Dutch or something? Or Norwegian, sorry, not Dutch. James is going to kill me. So at the end of that, you have like a kind of a thunderstorm happening.
Yeah.
Just because like when we heard that song, we were like, oh, that sounds a lot like basically, some guy in his room singing and just like looking out of a window on a stormy day.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Norman Bates.
That translates to Where Is Your God?
Where is your God? So I don't know the lyrics, so that's all James's lyrics. Obviously, I know it's pretty inconvenient, but what I do know is that's basically about things that are going wrong with the world.
Yeah.
Just times you have doubt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and the choruses. Where is your God now? Where is your God now? So yeah.
I actually really liked that song. It's like a bit of a language nerd. Why did you put it in Norwegian?
So James at the time was learning Norwegian, and I guess he wanted to do something
Show off his skills.
to show off his skills that he knew like 3 words, so or 4. So he added that. But honestly, I really liked it. Like I don't know. It gives me like it's an acoustic. It's like semi-acoustic, so it gives you like a kind of a Nirvana Unplugged vibe, at least for me. When I first heard it, that's why I liked it.
So, Kyri, are we expecting an Italian or Greek song coming?
Maybe, we'll see. I'm not sure how Italian or Greek rock goes.
We need to get a bouzouki.
Yeah. Actually, I think I can get that sound on my keyboard.
Oh, all right.
I'll make it happen.
Jeez, yes, we don't need any of us. Can you make a James singing vocal sound on the keyboard as well?
You've got me. I'll just sing.
There you go.
Speaking of a lot of those songs that you mentioned that were actually had an EP version and then had an LP version, I feel like that's quite a testament to the strength of those songs that between, I think it was 2018 when Grown came out and then 2020 when Child Support came out. That's a bit of time to be like, yeah, I still really like those songs and they belong on this album. They just need a bit of a remaster. So is that how you felt?
Yeah, so I would say that's a good statement of how we felt. But like on top of that, like we also found ways that we could kind of, fix them up. Like for example, for Killer, adding the sound effects and stuff like that. So basically our the reason we released Grown is because that was released fresh after we formed the band. So that was to just get people familiar with us. It's better than putting nothing out. So
Definitely.
So that was just kind of like it's an EP, but I would say it's more like a demo kind of vibe thing. So that was basically the reasoning behind it. And then we said like, by the time we release an album, we'll have those songs and they'll be.
So that was always in mind that
was most of the time.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's time for the game.
Oh no!
If you guys are ready, so we're gonna we have a game.
Okay,
Around halfway
jigsaw.
through. Yeah. So if you look under your chairs, there's a gun. No.
Oh yes. I thought you were going to say
I thought you were legit for a second.
Keys to
Like,
you,
gun? Do I get to squirt Sunny with the water?
Squirt. Yeah, I was thinking. Oh god.
For this game, we don't have a name for it, but we're going to list some popular artists and see how well you know each other's musical taste. So you'll write down how you think your bandmate thinks about that artist. So either like, dislike, apathetic.
All right.
And whoever guesses the most correctly, I guess, is just a better friend. So we'll give that a
Kyri being
go.
the newest member and like the newest person out of all the Lenores that I know, this is going to be such a learning experience for me. So.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Band number 1, The Beatles. Go.
I feel like there was a bit of a hint earlier when you said that the Beatles were an inspiration. So
You'll be thrown off guard. That's a bit of a hint. All right, I reckon you'd. So it's basically what I think she'd.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna say appreciative.
Yeah.
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 Because everybody is kind of.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
All
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Cool. There you go. Appreciative.
I said / is inspired by it.
Do you want me to elaborate on that?
yeah, please do.
All right, James. Everyone's gonna hate me. The whole world's gonna.
Another unpopular opinion.
Another unpopular opinion that I chose to put out the first time, but since it's on topic now, I don't like the Beatles, but it's not necessarily a band that I listen to. I mean, I do appreciate some of their sounds, but to be honest, if you had to ask me, I mean, I can find about 10 bands that I would prefer over the Beatles.
That's fair.
Maybe more, but yeah. Like there was a time where I was like staunchly against the Beatles.
Okay.
But I think that was just because their fans, a lot of their fans were insufferable.
That's
in
funny.
my opinion. It's like fans of like TV shows and stuff like that.
There's some terrible fandoms out there.
Yeah, so like a lot of Beatle fans were like, boomers and stuff like that. They're like, oh, you don't like the Beatles. you don't like music. So that kind of like made me not like the Beatles. But then a few years ago, James came over my place and he brought a DVD about the Beatles called, I think, 7 Days a Week. It's like a bit of a documentary / theatrical documentary.
Yeah.
And, I watched it and it was pretty interesting and like to see how they struggled to become a band and how they got ripped off from their label.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so...
I have to agree with you. Beatles fans are insufferable, and the number one example is the guy sitting right next to me, who is, I think, the top 0.05% on Spotify listeners.
But how can you not like Octopus's
like
Garden? Such a good song.
I mean, yeah, I would say I do have a newfound appreciation for the Beatles, but if I would be lying if I say they were like an inspiration for me or they're a band that I listen to or anything like that. But respect, respect.
All right, next artist. Ready? Harry Styles.
Yeah.
I think Kyri is a fangirl for Harry Styles. I reckon she's got the posters.
No, okay. So I really was never a 1D sort of person.
Yeah.
Even when Harry Styles' first album came out, tried to listen to it, was like, no, can't do
Is that self-titled?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah. But I can't remember the first one
Yeah,
because I just don't listen to it. And then I saw everyone posting Fine Line and I was like, okay, let's take a listen. And it made me feel so incompetent as a songwriter. I just I was like, wow, this is so amazing. This is like, it's amazing what people can do with music and stuff. But then I was like, damn, how do I do that?
Do you have tickets?
No, I was meant to get tickets.
You have tickets
at
for every
1
show.
PM. Yes, that's the problem.
She literally every week is just like, I
get tickets for
can't make
every
it. You
show.
guys want tickets to this band, that band, that band?
So yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard to get tickets for
Yeah.
Harry Styles.
And like I don't know, again, very intense crowd.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm kind of like I want to go, but also kind of not.
I think my girlfriend might be trying right now to get tickets.
Yeah, well, they go on sale at 1.
At 1?
So
Okay, so if we're still
5 minutes
talking
away.
then and you want to have your phone up, we completely understand.
There's going to be a drop in viewers.
Because everyone tunes out, get Harry Styles tickets.
I think you are not a huge fan of Harry Styles.
Wrong again. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan, but when I first heard him in One Direction, I was with the rest of the crowd. Well, less of people my age that were like, One Direction. But then I heard his solo album and Sign of the Times, and I'm like, this guy's actually, good. Like, damn. Like I thought he was just a teeny bopper or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, no, ever since then, and then, I read into, the stuff he's been doing outside of music, like just, just like charity wise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just like, I kind of appreciate him as a human, I guess. And
He's
as a
pretty
music
cool.
maker, yeah, he's pretty cool.
All right, next one is Queen.
Ooh.
I think you like Queen.
Queen. Yeah, I don't mind Queen. I mean, they're good. I wouldn't say they're my go-to, but I do like some of their songs. Our old bassist was a huge Queen fan, and he knew around the movie. He was with us when the movie came out, the Freddie Mercury one, and he would basically just like pick out every single inaccuracy and just complain about it. And he watched it like 10 times. So shout out to Brendan.
I hate it, but I love it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he went out just to the cinema and just started yelling at the screen. Queen. I reckon you're a fan because you play keyboard and you probably learned some Freddie Mercury stuff on there. So
I haven't actually, but I do love Queen. I grew up listening to Queen. It was one of the songs one of the albums my dad downloaded on my MP3 when I was like 5 years old.
You will listen to this and you will like it.
Literally, it was just one of those things. And I was like, okay. No,
it's kind of like U2 like a few years ago when they put
I actually love that album though.
They're like,
you will like
You're forced to though. So
well, see, I have a theory that how much you like a song is mostly dependent on how well you know the song.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah.
Because I could listen to a song and be like, yeah, that's cool. I'll listen to it for the next month and then I love it.
I would say that for a lot of bands that I like, I originally liked one of their songs and not really the rest of their songs. But over time, after listening to their songs, kind of gets stuck in your head and it just becomes like one of your favorites. So it's I agree with that as well.
All right, next one is Dua Lipa.
Ooh.
I think you think she's cool, but maybe don't entirely like her.
I don't know a lot of her songs. I would know it if you I would know the songs if
You want me.
Yeah, I want you, baby.
Does she also sing that one like a few years ago? That cover. I don't want to be more than a friend.
I think so.
It was nice to know you.
No, that's Dua Lipa. No,
Yeah,
not
it's-
Dua
no,
Wait,
that's-
it is Dua Lipa.
We are talking about Dua
Why do I, what? That's the one Chris Brown, yeah?
Yeah.
I have never associated that song with the Dua Lipa that does electricity, and I'm having the weirdest moment of cognitive dissonance right now.
Well, there you go.
That is the same Dua Lipa.
It is the same Dua
Oh my
Lipa.
god, I didn't even. Yeah,
I would say I'm impartial.
Yeah, okay.
I got tickets to her concerts.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, I'm quite jealous. When it came out, I was like, oh, I want to go. And I was like, no, I'm not going to spend that much money on Dua Lipa. And now I'm like, I should have spent that much money on Dua Lipa.
Do you reckon she'll sing that song?
When was that song? That was a few years back.
2015.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
ages
All right,
ago.
next one
It
is
was
Elton
around
John.
a time where
Again, not a huge fan, but appreciate some of his music.
spot on. And I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan, but sometimes I do find myself, bursting out singing some of his songs.
Yeah.
So, especially because when I was like growing up, that is with other stuff as well.
Listening to Lenores.
Not
Yeah,
ghetto
yeah.
gospel.
Practicing.
You guys, you guys,
Yes.
you guys
Yes.
are probably younger than me. So so it was ghetto gospel. So that was my introduction to Elton John.
I forgot that was a thing.
I was a kid back then, so I was like, who the hell's this guy? Oh, I knew who Tupac was because nobody would shut up about Tupac. But I was like, damn, Tupac's back from the dead. He's making music with Elton John. I reckon, again, appreciative / almost a fan.
I saw him a couple years ago.
Yeah,
It's the whole
Yeah,
keyboard,
he was. Yeah, no, I
piano
love him.
thing,
Yeah, no, just the idea as well of him and Bernie, like that writing relationship is like really cool. Because I couldn't do that. So
Favorite Elton John song?
oh gosh, it's a hard one. Oh, Philadelphia Freedom,
Yeah. Cool.
I really like his earring style. That's
Yeah.
the glasses.
his glasses are right, but his earring vibes. I like
His glasses are right.
He's not iconic for them or anything. They're
Who stole who? Did Dame Edna steal his glasses or did he steal Dame Edna's glasses? Someone said.
All right, last one. And if you say the wrong answer, I think like 90% of our listeners will just turn off the show. Taylor Swift.
Sweet.
oh, I don't know. I think you have listened to her songs, but I don't think you're a huge Swiftie.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I really, really, really like Trouble. It's an old song of hers.
Yeah.
And I find myself strumming back to the guitar sometimes on the guitar. So, yeah. I would reckon you're a fan.
Look, I wouldn't say she's as big of a listener. Like, I don't listen to her as much as a lot of other artists I listen to, but I definitely do appreciate her as a songwriter and what she's done for women in the music industry. And yeah, I remember being maybe 8 years old and listening to her song 22 and going, oh wow, imagine if I like wrote a song like that. I think that kind of started like me questioning whether I wanted to write songs or not. So
Does she write her songs?
I think so.
she does write a lot of them.
All right, good. She's not Beyonce.
Or Justin Bieber.
Oh, or Elvis Presley. Fun fact, he never wrote any of his songs.
That's really disappointing. Take it back.
No, I can't. It's already in the airwaves. You can't take it back.
It is live every Wednesday at 12. Just a little plug.
There you go.
That was a good answer, actually. You did well. I think.
Thank you.
Did we have a winner? I think you guys both know each other equally well. I think you got all of them right. Most of them right.
That's weird, yeah.
Good friends.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or at
Patrick will
least,
be happy.
at least for the show, good friends.
Yeah, behind closed doors.
Give me that gun.
All right. So on your all my links, I don't know what that is actually.
I think it's like Linktree.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have it's Linktree now. It's meant to say Linktree now because all my links everyone kept on telling us that's just like a lot of like Insta models use that and they put their OnlyFans on that and
So
stuff.
you have to use Linktree because that's the indie band.
Yeah. Well, we already had it interesting story. We had a link tree to start with, but then we forgot the password. And then we just went with all my links and then everyone kept on dissing me about it. So I was like, all right. And then I just made the effort of resetting the password for Linktree. Anyway, about our Linktree.
About your link tree. It was amusing to see your pink logo tee is listed as seen on Maths. What's the story behind it being on Married at First Sight?
Book and
She wore
Nile.
it.
Yeah, so basically, I'm friends with Booker, just like...
Oh, are you?
Well, internet friends, which is coincidentally also the name of one of her bands. So I'm internet friends with Booker. So I met each other on a music group and just started chatting about music. And she's also does psychology. And I'm doing psychology,
right.
so we started just talking about psychology and stuff like that. So that was during 2020 and COVID. So I don't know, just random talking, whatever. And then she went on Maths, and then we released a T-shirt, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, send it to me, and then I can wear it on Maths and whatnot." And then I sent it to her, and she wore it on Maths.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was. We've got it on our story on Instagram. We've all made a DIY kind of clip of it.
So did you guys see an increase in sales or listeners when it was on the show, or not really?
I mean, looking at the glass half full, I would say yes. But, truthfully, you would need to look up the statistics. So, I don't know. We told a couple of people to tune in, so hopefully they did and they didn't forget. Otherwise, I'm going to be really upset.
I think we're just about getting to time.
Well, Harry Styles tickets need to be bought, so...
Yeah, man.
Yeah, quick.
You're
get
5
on the
minutes
Harry
too
Styles.
late, guys.
Harry Styles,
Yeah, they've
sponsor the
already
show,
sold
please.
out.
They've already sold out, like 100%. Go on eBay. People are probably selling them for like so much.
$900 each.
Yeah.
So basically for our show, we're getting like a playlist for all of the favorite songs of each of the artists that come on the show.
Well, the first song that came to my mind, let me know if you like it, was Another One Bites the Dust by Queen.
All right, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Are you guys going to play it now?
We can play it afterwards if we have the rights to it, but we're going to make a Spotify playlist and put it on.
I was going to suggest Pia Mia.
Yeah, do it again.
Yeah, all right, yeah, screw it, I'll suggest that. I was just going to suggest like a band that I actually listen to.
Yeah, no.
So basically, I would say Way Too Much by Waves.
Cool. Nice. All right, we'll add those in. And now it's time to do a bit of teamwork. You two have to choose a song from the Lenores that you would like to choose to also go on that playlist.
All right, one song.
Yes.
Well,
one
we
song.
both said we like She.
Yeah.
James will hate us if we say
Who
She.
cares? Who cares about
Right.
James?
break free from your shackles.
It's his fault for not coming on the show.
Yeah.
James got pissed off because I said it was Dutch. He's like, it's Norwegian. But then I corrected myself. So screw you, James. We're playing She.
Yeah, She, yeah.
So finally, before we end the show, let us know what is next on the agenda for the Lenores. Any shows, any gigs, we know there's some music on the horizon, but live music-wise?
I would say at the moment we're just focusing on recording. But if, Eliza and Delusionals want to come back, they can hit us up, But yeah, at the moment we're focusing on recording. I'm going to go on a bit of a holiday in a few months' time. So by the time I come back, we'll probably be ready to release new stuff.
Yeah, if you're not kicked out of the band when you come back.
Hopefully not.
For getting that song wrong.
Gosh.
So thank you so much for coming on the show. It's really been a pleasure. You guys have been great.
No worries.
Hopefully we'll be able to listen to your new music soon.
Hurry up, you guys follow us. You'll get an update whenever we release new stuff anyway.
Put our notifications on and you'll see.
Yeah.
And 2 random listeners are going to get free tickets to the next Lenore show. No, we're joking.
I thought you were going to say to Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
Just use the code UNI TUNES.
I love that name. Is that like a play on Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Speaking of, you got to say your thing.
No.
This is UNI TUNES, and that's all, folks.
I knew you were going to say that.
Thanks for listening.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks. Again.
We definitely need to include your that's all, folks.
Do you want to say it again? We can splice it in. You can do your that's all, folks, for this episode.
That's all, folks.
Nice work.